And I have good news and bad news, mainly bad news when it comes to the rulings that the Illinois State Police are putting out regarding the assault weapons ban. Now, mind you guys, every year in October, the Illinois State Police have full authority to make additional rules. That's right. They have been given free rein. We're going to talk about this. I guess the only good news is that these rules can be changed. But if I know Illinois as good as I think I do, I have a feeling it's only going to be added more regulation. So stick with me here. We're going to kind of have a deep dive, hopefully answering a lot of your questions. Of course, hit the subscribe button as I continue to bring you good information regarding the Second Amendment. If you support the Second Amendment, please share and comment your thoughts in the comment section. So you want me to click on this? You want to hear all about it? By the way, if you're in a free gun state, this is going to cause you to grimace, all right? You're not used to this type of stuff. If you live in Illinois or are visiting Illinois, this is applicable to you. You don't want to miss out. So I'm going to click on it, all right? Get ready. You might want to cringe at some point. I feel that some of you will. So with that being said, starting off with enforcement, all right? By the way, there's a caveat when it comes to security. We know that they are exempt and law enforcement is exempt, but we're going to discuss that as well because there's something new that has come up that will be applicable to those as well who are licensed security. So enforcement, let's just start off with that. And the question is, how will this law be enforced? Law enforcement agencies, including the Illinois State Police, are charged with enforcing the Protect Illinois Communities Act throughout the state. ISP will continue to enforce the Firearms Owners Identification Card Act and Article 24 of the Criminal Code of 2012 by partnering with local law enforcement through the Violent Crime Intelligent Task Force. The task force is a collaboration effort to reduce and prevent illegal possession and use of firearms, firearm-related homicides, and other violent crimes. Folks, there is no doubt that this is going to be enforced not only in Chicago, not only in Crook County, but around the entire state of Illinois. And law enforcement will certainly, most definitely, be enforcing this, and they're going to catch up to it eventually. The second question is, what happens if a person does not register their so-called assault weapon and or device or whatever else parts that they may deem necessary? Failing to complete and submit the required endorsement affidavit is a violation of Illinois law, specifically the FOID Act. By the way, they're going to be using the FOID Card Act and the FOID portal. You ask, what is a FOID? Firearms Owner's Identification Card in the state of Illinois. In order for you to own or possess a firearm or ammunition, you must have a FOID. And this is how you are going to make your registration and affidavit to the Illinois State Police. Again, no perjury there. Otherwise, there will be a big old penalty, right? All right, so we'll be utilizing the FOID Card Act. A Class A misdemeanor will be for the first offense, and a subsequent offense would be a Class 3 felony. Persons who violate the endorsement affidavit requirement may be arrested and charged. Are you listening to this, guys? Are you listening? All right, what does the Illinois Supreme Court decision in Calkins versus Pritzker mean moving forward? The Illinois Supreme Court reversed the trials court judgment on the Macon County case, and the Protect Illinois Communities Act is enforceable across Illinois. The endorsement affidavit will be available October 1st of this year. By the way, it'll be made available October 1st. The deadline is in just a few months, meaning January 1st is the deadline of 2024. Folks are to be in compliance at that time. Let's see. Can a .22 firearm potentially fall under the assault weapons category? Those .22s, yes. While 50 cal rifles and cartridges are specifically prohibited, any weapon that fits the definition of an assault weapon would be prohibited regardless of which cartridge it takes. The only exemption for .22 ammunition is specifically limited to fixed magazines, large capacity ammunition feeding devices, and semi-automatic rifles with a fixed magazine capable of operating only with .22 rimfire ammunition. All right, here's some good stuff as well. If a Illinois FFL committed to transferring assault weapon to the winner of a local organization raffle and the organization has already sold tickets, sold tickets to the raffle, but the transfer has not been completed, can the Illinois FFL still transfer the assault weapon to the organizer or the winner? No is the answer, unless the winner was identified and a background check initiated by January 10th, 2023. A transfer of the weapon is not permitted unless the person to whom it is being transferred is exempt. How about another question here, guys? Can an Illinois FFL still purchase an assault weapon or large capacity ammunition feeding devices as defined by Public Act 102-1116 to sell out of state, such as through a website that I cannot mention here, unless the Illinois FFL is doing business in another state and is purchasing the weapon or large capacity ammunition feeding device in another state? Then they cannot. Illinois FFLs are not exempt from the provisions of Section 2419 or 24110. According to an Illinois FFL, cannot take possession of an assault weapon or large capacity feeding device in Illinois. Here's another question. Can lawful gun owners sell an assault weapon or large capacity these words are just complex. Putting them all together. Large capacity ammunition feeding device as defined by Public Act 102-1116 to an Illinois FFL. With respect to an assault weapon, once the owner has completed the endorsement affidavit and submitted to the ISP, they may then transfer the assault weapon to an individual residing in another state, maintaining it in another state, or a federal firearms dealer. Until the endorsement affidavit is available in Illinois, FFL cannot take possession of an assault weapon in Illinois. That's interesting. If you wish to sell your so-called AR or your AR-15 or AK-47 or what they call assault weapon to an FFL dealer in the state of Illinois, you must essentially register it prior to being able to give it to that licensed gun dealer, who, by the way, is licensed by the state of Illinois. That's new, right? And are licensed federally. All right, how about this one? If an FFL who owns an auction service, pawn shop, or storefront has taken an AR-15 or assault weapon into their inventory on consignment or as collateral prior to the signing of the bill, can the FFL now transfer the weapon back to the previous owner? Here you go. The answer is no. All right. If an assault weapon was transferred to the FFL, then it cannot be transferred back to the previous registered owner unless the previously registered owner is subject to one of the narrow exemptions in Section 720 ILCS 52419 with the link above. By the way, I'll be providing a link to all of this as well, guys. All right, here's another one. How can a non-resident of Illinois legally travel through Illinois with an assault weapon or high-capacity magazines? Any non-residents who transport within 24 hours, you only have 24 hours, a weapon from where they may lawfully possess it to another place they may lawfully possess it, it must ensure the weapon is unloaded and neither the weapon nor any ammunition being transported is readily accessible or is directly accessible from the passenger compartment during transport. If the vehicle doesn't have a compartment outside of the driver's compartment, the weapon or ammunition shall be contained in a locked container other than the glove compartment or console. Basically unloaded and enclosed in a case. If you're traveling to Illinois with any of this malarkey that they're calling it, it must be unloaded and enclosed in a case, and only for a period, folks, for only 24 hours. Beyond that, it would be unlawful for a non-resident to bring their stuff to Illinois. Here we go. How can bear with me, how can a Illinois resident sell their high-capacity magazines they currently own, and can they? The answer is yes, you can. You can always get rid of it, right? Yes, Illinois residents may legally transfer the large-capacity magazine feeding device to an heir, an individual residing in another state, maintaining it in another state, a federal firearms dealer, or one of the limited number of people who may purchase under Section 24-110E. However, notification must be made to the Illinois State Police. Isn't that nice? Can Illinois residents buy large-capacity ammunition feeding devices from a private individual or gun dealer? The answer is no, you cannot. All right? Unless is subject to one of the narrow exemptions, future purchases will not be permitted. Here we go, another one. Can Illinois residents keep large-capacity ammunition feeding devices they currently own? Isn't that nice? Finally, guys, you got a yes. If they legally owned it prior to January 11th of 2023 and abide by the limitations within the Act as to where it may be possessed, see Section 720 ILCS 52419D. All right. What's interesting with that is, I guess it's all real interesting. Isn't it nice? Isn't this just absolutely wonderful? All right, let's move on here. I own a standard magazine with the capacity of 15 rounds. However, magazine extensions can be purchased to convert my magazine to hold more than 15 rounds. Is my 15-round magazine illegal simply because the extension can be purchased? This is interesting, folks, in the sense of I talked about removable base plates in the past, and they have actually clarified this by stating large capacity ammunition feeding device means a magazine, belt, drum, fed, stripped, or similar device that has a capacity of or that can be readily restored or converted to accept more than 10 rounds of ammunition for long guns and more than 15 rounds of ammunition for a handgun. A 15-round magazine without an extension is legal. So I guess the whole removable base plate aspect of it, as of right now, until they are able to make changes, remember, guys, is it's okay to have that magazine. By the way, I was going to say earlier that remember during the so-called Freedom Week, right? It was several months ago, Freedom Week. You went with your FOID card and stood in line and bought all that stuff. Folks, that was considered an illegal purchase according to the authoritarians in the state of Illinois. So be cautious with this. If you notice, everything we're talking about was acquisition, purchases, transfers that took place prior to January 10th or maybe the 11th, but mainly the 10th of 2023. So what was done during Freedom Week, well, I don't know what you're going to do, man. All right. What is considered a large capacity ammunition feeding device? This is just beautiful. A magazine, belt, drum, fed, strip, or similar device that has a capacity of or that can be readily restored or converted to accept more than 10 rounds of ammunition for a long gun, more than 15 rounds for ammunition for a handgun. This is similar to what we were just saying. Handgun or any combination of parts from which a device can be assembled. All right, let's see. Can Illinois residents sell or transfer an AR-15 or assault weapon? After October 1st of 2023, the owner must complete the endorsement affidavit and submit to the Illinois State Police. Then beginning January 1st of 2024, they may transfer the assault weapon to an heir, an individual residing in another state, maintaining it in another state, or a federal firearms dealer. Let me just see here. What else we got? Can an Illinois resident still buy an AR-15 or weapon of private dealer? No, the answer is no. How much does it cost to register your AR-15 or assault weapon as defined by the new law? The answer is there's no charge, guys. Isn't that nice? I mean, I'm so surprised they didn't just go for a more money grab in this case, but it's free. It's 100% free for you and I to do. Isn't that nice? All right. Do Illinois residents have to register the AR or assault weapon as defined by the new law? We already know that answer. It's yes. Can Illinois residents legally keep current AR-15 style weapons under the new law? Yes, again, provided it was purchased before the January 10th of 2023. So when it comes to security, licensed security, now again, law enforcement is exempt from this, guys, but when it comes to licensed security, if you fall under the Detective Act in the state of Illinois, regulated by the Department of Financial and Professional Regulation, you do not need to register. This still holds true. However, you will be required to submit an affidavit if you are in possession of these tools or equipment, but are not necessarily needing it for your scope of employment at that time, as far as I understand it. So we shall see, folks. I'm sure you find some of this really, really nice. And it's definitely going to keep Illinoisans safe, right? I mean, we've seen since this law was enacted, it has done fantastic things for us in the state of Illinois. For now, I am going to enjoy some time here by the water. By the way, if you want to help support, guys, I would greatly appreciate it. And that is by getting your free gun laws guide provided by the USCCA. They give you education and training. They are the sponsors of my show. It's a free gun laws guide for you, so it helps you out, keeping you trained. It also directly helps this channel financially. So please do so. You'll find that in the description or in the comment section, that pin post. Click on it, put in your email, friends, family email. It's a free gift. So again, that helps me out. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I will continue to keep you guys updated on what's going on. Again, these proposed rules can change. I think it's only going to get a little bit worse, but we shall see. Please share this video. Let other people know it. It's important to get the word out. Folks, I love you. I thank you. I'll be seeing you soon. Stay safe.